Are you serious? Are you serious? Folks, it's getting out of control in the Ukraine. It's out of control in the Ukraine, in the city of Kyiv. Fresh fighting has broke out. I want to thank James for this report. In central Kyiv this Thursday, shattering a truce declared by Ukrainian President Yankovych as the Russian-backed leader met with European ministers demanding he compromise with the EU opponents. Now, a Reuters photographer saw the bodies of 21 dead civilians in Independence Square, a few hundred meters from where the president had just met with the EU delegation, after protesters who have occupied the area for almost 3 months started hurling bombs and paving stones and bricks to drive out the riot police from the plaza. The riot police fired bursts from automatic rifles on the run as they covered retreating colleagues fleeing past the nearby arts center. Also, other protesters used police riot shields for cover, while some fell wounded as the protest camp became a killing zone. The foreign ministers of Germany, France, and Poland were to report back in Brussels later in the day to European Union colleagues who will decide on the possible targeted sanctions against those deemed responsible for the worst bloodshed in Ukraine's 22 years since its independence from the collapsed Soviet Union. Now, Russia criticizes the European Union and the United States measures, calling them blackmail that would only make matters worse. It also stepped up pressure on Yankovych to crack down and restore order if he wanted more. Desperately needed loans from Russia. So on one hand, Vladimir Putin is saying to President Yankovych of Ukraine, you crack down, you bust some heads, you shut this thing down. I'm not going to loan money to you if you can't control your people or control your government. On the other side of it, the people do not want to be under the thumb of Vladimir Putin in Russia, but they want their true independence, and they were trying to join the European Union. Now, what makes matters worse in all of this is President Barack Obama has stuck his nose in it. Not trying to be mean here, just being honest, and decided he was going to institute sanctions on about 20 of the Ukrainian government officials, locking down their visas and passports to where they can't travel, not only to America, but anywhere in Europe. That would isolate them, basically. So, having said all that, of course he can't. Of course, Obama can't control Russia, what they do. But what this means is there's a lot of pushing and shoving. And once again, we have President Barack Obama on one side of a conflict and Vladimir Putin on another. And it's some of the reasons why, when you see the struggle by the New World Order to want to come into power, here's part of their difficulties. Even though they're all working toward a one world government, a new world order, who will lead that? And that's where Putin and Obama are on opposite sides, not on the overall agenda, but on who will be the leader of it. And so this thing is getting uglier by the minute. Let's pray for the people of Ukraine. Let's pray that cooler heads prevail and that the killing stops as the death toll now reaches 50 and spinning out of control. We don't need another civil war. We already have one in Syria that's horrific. If one breaks out in Europe in the Ukraine, then we're watching a world in a world of hurt and a world of trouble. I'll be right back. Don't miss my show today from 12 noon to 3 p.m. Eastern at my website, www.paulbegleyprophecy.com. God bless.